The journey to greatness begins with a single step, and as we approach the middle of the year, it's time to reflect. What can I do today to be the best version of myself tomorrow? At the dawn of a new day, we are invited to enjoy moments of reflection and anticipation, knowing that life is a journey and that each day offers us new opportunities to shape our destiny. The ancient Stoics, with their profound wisdom, understood this well. Imagine a quiet evening reflecting on the past few months and planning for the future. It's not just about making ephemeral decisions, but about incorporating habits that shape your existence. Today we're going to learn about the 11 Stoicism-inspired habits designed to transform your life in the coming months. These habits are practical and straightforward, ready to be implemented into your daily routine. And have you ever stopped to think about how the great philosophers of antiquity could transform your life today? If you're someone who seeks wisdom, personal growth, and the power to turn each day into an opportunity to become a better version of yourself, you're in the right place. Here we take a deep dive into age-old teachings, offering you not only inspirational videos, but also practical personal development strategies that can change your life. Click the sign up button now and join a community dedicated to learning and continuous growth. First habit, the small actions. Our smallest habits are the building blocks of profound change, and here's a Stoic secret. It's not just about doing small things, it's also about thinking little, avoiding the trap of big unattainable promises, and instead focusing on what's in front of us, the near and achievable goals. As you put these small victories together, you'll find that they lead to significant transformation. Remember that even the mightiest river starts out as a trickle. As we pass the middle of 2024, let's embrace the power of starting small. After all, as Zeno would remind us, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is lost. The ancient Stoics knew that the journey to greatness begins with small but consistent steps. Epictetus reminds us that life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but about learning to dance in the rain. This means that we should focus on daily actions that, although small, have a cumulative impact on our life. It is not the magnitude of the act, but the constancy that creates a strong and resilient character. When we focus on small wins, we're building a solid foundation for bigger changes. Every little act of discipline, every healthy habit adopted, every conscious decision to act with virtue is a step toward a better self. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reinforces, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Small actions, when repeated daily, dye our soul with colors of strength, patience, and wisdom. Avoiding the trap of unattainable big promises is crucial for maintaining motivation and consistency. Seneca advised, "As long as man is thinking about how to start living, he is busy not living." Instead of waiting for perfect conditions or a big moment of change, start now with what's within reach. Small steps today lead to big breakthroughs tomorrow. Adopting small, sustainable habits is one way to practice Stoic philosophy on a daily basis. As Epictetus suggests, don't ask for things to happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will have a quiet life. Accepting and working with what we have now, without waiting for major external changes, allows us to live in harmony with nature and ourselves. Second habit, create a routine. The power of a routine lies not in rigidity, but in providing a framework for channeling your energy effectively. A Stoic philosopher, whose wisdom transcended centuries, tells us that life without a plan is complicated. Know that a well-structured day is a day well spent. So the way to create this routine is not to copy someone else's schedule, but to develop one that resonates with you. Identify your most productive time of day, whether you're a morning person who thrives in the quiet hours of the early morning, or someone whose energy peaks as the day unfolds. Adapt your routine from that natural rhythm. By dedicating your first few hours to the most important tasks, those that require all your attention and creativity, you will be in control of your day from the beginning. As Seneca said, principles are necessary, and what is routine but a principle? For many, owning the morning is crucial. Don't let distractions get to you. Start with activities that set a positive tone for the day. A walk, a moment of reflection, or even tackling an important task early in the morning can make all the difference. Plan ahead of the world when the world wakes up. However, remember that a routine is not just about work, but about balance, including habits that nourish your mind, body, and spirit. Including activities that feed your soul is just as important as being productive. Maybe reading a good book, exercising, or spending quality time with your loved ones. Epictetus stated, "First tell yourself what you would be and then do what you have to do." By following a balanced routine, consistency becomes the glue that holds everything together. As you build this routine, it becomes the foundation for developing good habits. A well-structured routine provides the necessary stability to face daily challenges with more serenity and effectiveness. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." And an effective routine is a way to discipline your thoughts and actions, leading to a more balanced and productive life. Over time, you'll find that consistency is key to the success of any routine. Even on days when things don't go according to plan, staying true to your basic structure provides a sense of normalcy and control. Repeating the small actions daily within your routine creates a solid foundation for great achievements. As Seneca reminds us, principles are necessary and routine is, in essence, the practical application of those principles. Third habit, do your best every day. The life of Viktor Frankl is an inspiring example of overcoming. Born in 1905, Frankl was an Austrian neuropsychiatrist who survived the horrors of the Nazi concentration camps during World War II. His extreme experiences tested his physical and mental endurance, leading him to a deep understanding of the meaning of life and the human ability to find meaning even in the worst of circumstances. Deported to Auschwitz in 1942, Frankl lost his wife, his parents, and his brother. Amid the brutality and dehumanization, he observed that those who maintained a sense of purpose had a better chance of surviving. This insight formed the basis of logotherapy, Frankl's theory that suggests that the search for meaning is the primary motivating force of human beings. Frankl believed that even when all external freedoms are taken away, we still have the freedom to choose our attitude. This idea aligns with Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of focusing on what is within our control. For him, finding meaning in suffering was not just survival but transcendence. In Search of Meaning, Frankl describes how he imagined himself lecturing about his experiences after the war. This mental exercise helped him stay sane and gave him a purpose to keep going. He showed that true freedom lies in choosing our answers, even when all seems lost. Viktor Frankl's story teaches us that overcoming is not just about surviving physically, but about finding a deeper purpose, even in the most desperate situations. Stoicism reminds us that while we can't control events, we can control our responses to them. Frankl's life and work continue to inspire, showing that through the search for meaning and inner freedom, we can find the strength to overcome any adversity. And as the philosopher Epictetus once said, "No man is free unless he becomes his own master." We all have our struggles, whether they're related to unhealthy habits, procrastination, or negative behaviors. On reflection, the key to victory is to give the order to stop, to control your impulses rather than allowing them to control you. We hold the keys to our own difficulties, so how do you apply this to your life? The first step is to identify that habit or behavior you want to change. Maybe it's that extra coffee that never seems to be enough, or the habit of getting lost in social media, or any other behavior that doesn't align with your goals. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimation of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any time." Acknowledging that you have the power to change is key. It is not external events that control us, but our reactions to them. Fourth habit, free yourself from the chains of anxiety. Within you there is a storm that we all face too, a storm that is not in the sky but within us. Anxiety is a shadow that follows us, whispering what can go wrong, what can happen. But here is a stoic truth. You are not a puppet of this feeling. Anxiety is a turbulence that is not on the highways or in the car. It is in our mind. Creating a routine that frees us from this invisible chain is a powerful step. Stoicism teaches us that anxiety is a product of our thoughts, not the world around us. It's like a fog that obscures our vision, turning mountains into moth hills. The key is to clear that fog to see the world as it is, not as our fears paint it. To begin dismantling this fog, take a moment and ask yourself, is this anxiety a product of what's happening or what you fear might happen? More often than not, you'll find that it's the latter case. Epictetus reminds us, things aren't hard to bear. It's our interpretation of them that makes them seem unbearable. Anxiety is not a preventative solution against potential problems. In fact, it prevents us from preparing properly. Imagine that anxiety is like sitting in a rocking chair. There's a lot of movement, but it doesn't get you anywhere. To free ourselves from the chains of anxiety, we need to turn that energy into concrete actions. Seneca advised, "The man who suffers before he is needed suffers more than he is needed." So with the middle of this year, we commit to breaking free from the chains of anxiety and facing life clearly and steadily. As you adopt these habits and reflect on Stoic wisdom, you will begin to see anxiety as a passing shadow, not a permanent storm. True strength lies in mastering the mind, in seeing the world clearly, and in acting according to reason, not fear. Fifth habit, nourish yourself with good knowledge. Set a specific time to read the news and avoid idly browsing the internet. It's not about disconnecting from the world, but about choosing not to wallow in it, reconnecting with what really matters. Use your time consciously, realizing that there are more opportunities to pursue your goals, strengthen relationships, and promote your personal development. This habit not only refers to time management, but also to life management, taking care of the precious time of the day. Engage in activities that enrich your life rather than dilute it. As we move towards 2025, let us remember the words of Epictetus and focus our energy and time on things that truly contribute to our well-being and growth. Every minute spent on something useless is one less minute to invest in something meaningful. Start each new year with a challenge that, while difficult, ignites the fire of self-assertion and sustainability, rather than just cooling the water of inertia. In a world where distractions abound and time is a finite resource, it's essential to prioritize what really matters. This Stoic approach teaches us to cherish each moment, turning it into an opportunity for growth and fulfillment. Recognizing the importance of nurturing yourself with valuable knowledge is not just a matter of productivity, but of building a life rich in meaning and purpose. By doing so, we cultivate a sense of responsibility and purpose that drives us to live more fully and consciously. Taking a deliberate approach to information consumption and time use is an act of self-assertion. Every conscious decision we make to avoid dispersion and focus on what is essential brings us closer to a life of greater satisfaction and balance. Therefore, by nurturing ourselves with good knowledge and avoiding wasting time, we are actually fueling the flame of our own fulfillment and sustainability. On this path, personal growth and well-being become natural results of a life lived with intention and clarity. The Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of staying focused on what really matters, eliminating the noise and distractions that take us away from our goals. So as we move into the new year, let us make a conscious commitment to dedicate our time and energy to activities and knowledge that truly enrich our lives. As a leading philosopher once said, we have a responsibility to light the fire of self-affirmation, turning every moment into an opportunity for growth and meaning. Sixth habit, to be adaptable. Adaptability is a crucial virtue for life's journey. Observe the rhythm of the waves of existence and learn to ride on them. For resistance to change is like trying to oppose the tide, a futile effort that only leads to defeat. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reflects on the nature of change and how it is a constant in our lives. He reminds us that a man's life is what his thoughts make of it. This teaching leads us to understand that by fearing change, we close ourselves off to the countless possibilities and opportunities it brings. It's not just about accepting change, but about welcoming it with an open mind and a receptive heart. Change, often seen as a threat, is actually an opportunity for growth and renewal. This year, make it your goal to not only accept but embrace change as an inevitable and exciting part of life. Change your perspective and see change not as a hindrance, but as a chance to explore new experiences and expand your capabilities. Try something new and challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone. Whether it's a new hobby, a career change, or a new way of thinking, it's in moments of uncertainty and novelty that we find the deepest growth and true satisfaction. Developing an adaptability mindset is like the tree that bends in the wind but doesn't break. It's about learning to be flexible in the face of change and finding ways to thrive in the new circumstances. Adaptability is not a passive stance, but an active and conscious approach. It means finding new ways to face challenges and turning every situation into an opportunity for learning and growth. When we face change with openness and creativity, we begin to see each challenge as a chance for personal development. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, emphasizes that difficulty strengthens the spirit. As you navigate the ever-changing landscapes of life, remember that your reactions and thoughts shape your experience. This is the time to adopt a mindset of flexibility and resilience, turning each new challenge into an opportunity to reinvent yourself and grow. The art of being adaptable is also an art of saying no to what is unnecessary. In a world saturated with choices and distractions, learning to say no is a superpower. It's the ability to focus on what really matters and avoid the distractions that divert our energy and attention from our deepest goals. To be truly adaptable, you need to learn to discern the essential from the superficial, to prioritize what is truly meaningful, and to reject what does not contribute to your growth. This year, challenge yourself to identify and focus on what really matters, leaving behind distractions and dedicating yourself to what enriches your life and promotes your development. As we move into 2024, make this year a time of self-discovery and growth by riding the waves of change with skill and grace. Allow each new experience to be an opportunity to expand your horizons and strengthen your spirit. Life is a constant stream of change and opportunity, and how you respond to those changes determines the quality of your journey. So be flexible and adaptable, and use every challenge as a chance to evolve. As Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, the universe is constantly changing. Life is what we make of it. By taking a positive and adaptable approach to life, you prepare yourself to face challenges with courage and wisdom. May 2024 be the year you learn to ride the waves of life with dexterity and confidence, turning every change into an opportunity for a fresh start and new growth. Seventh habit: overcome your challenges and goals. Sometimes doing something difficult can be the most empowering act we can perform. Incorporating this lesson of perseverance into our lives starts with the decision to step out of our comfort zones. Choose something that challenges you, that takes you out of the commonplace, something that makes you feel a little uncomfortable. It could be waking up an hour earlier, taking a cold shower, speaking in a meeting, or learning a new skill. The task itself is not as important as the experience of pushing our limits. It is in these moments of discomfort that we grow the most and discover our true abilities. The essence of this exercise lies not in the difficulty itself, but in the emphasis on the will and instinct. It's a test of your inner strength and proof that you're becoming better. As you embark on this journey, you will inevitably feel fear and hesitation. It's important to remember Seneca's silent message that governs our actions and reactions. The more difficult the path, the greater the satisfaction in achieving the goal. To accept challenges is to prove to yourself that you are capable of facing and overcoming difficulties. We thrive when we are connected with those who make us better. The people we associate with shape our lives more than we often realize. It's like walking in a forest. The path you choose determines the destination you reach. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, stressed the importance of surrounding oneself with people who inspire growth and wisdom. He once wrote, Choose friends who make you a better person. This isn't just about choosing friends, but about creating an environment that nurtures your personal growth. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who challenge us to be better, who encourage us to step out of our comfort zones, and who share a common quest for wisdom and virtue is essential to our development. Seneca said too, associating with people of good morals is a constant exercise in improvement. When you engage with those who inspire and support your journey, you become better able to rise to challenges and achieve your goals. So as we move into the new year, make a conscious commitment to face challenges and pursue continued growth. Find comfort in discomfort, see difficulties as learning opportunities, and surround yourself with people who lift you up. On this path of self-mastery and growth, remember that every step out of your comfort zone is a step toward the best version of yourself. Face challenges head-on, value lessons learned, and celebrate small wins. 8th habit, you are the master of your destiny. Often, the obstacles we encounter are not just external challenges, but internal barriers that we create. Recognize the impact of these barriers on your life and make a firm and clear decision to stop. This is not incremental change, it is an intentional and decisive action. When you give the order to stop, you're not just breaking a habit, you're claiming your freedom. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us that the key to freedom is self-mastery. By commanding your habits and decisions, you become the commander of your destiny. The first step is to own time, one of the most precious resources we have. Too often, we spend our time on trivial activities, pretending we don't have enough time for what really matters. But a careful analysis of our screen time, for example, reveals a different truth. We have time but don't use it wisely. Stoic wisdom teaches us to focus on what is essential. A philosopher known for his practical wisdom, Seneca, said, "Life is long enough, and a generous enough amount has been given for the accomplishment of the greatest things, if our whole life is well invested." The key lies in making a conscious choice not to sink into the vortex of absurdity. Whether it's punishing distractions, traffic of useless thoughts, excessive consumption of information, or other digital distractions, the strategy here is twofold: awareness and action. First, become fully aware of where you spend your time. Track your activities throughout the day. After a week, you might be surprised at how much time you spend on activities that add little value to your life. This awareness is the first step towards change. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Time is a river of events, and it is our duty to cross it with wisdom and purpose." After this awareness, take decisive action to start reducing the time spent on these distractions. Set clear boundaries for your application and stick to them. Epictetus advised, "If you want to improve, be prepared to appear ignorant or stupid about certain things." This means making conscious choices so you don't get lost in distractions that don't add value. 9th habit, find true friendships. Start by looking at the people around you and reflecting on who you spend the most time with. Evaluate the qualities you admire and desire in your own life and seek to embody them. It's not about finding the perfect person. It's about identifying who challenges you, supports your growth, and shares your values. In a fertile ground for personal growth, remember that by living with someone who limps, you too can learn to limp. Wisdom lies in recognizing that the people around us shape our actions and thoughts, and not just to avoid the negative effects, but to actively seek the good and create your own path. Stoicism at its core teaches us that our relationships and the environment we choose have a profound impact on our lives. As Seneca wisely put it, you can't be happy without the company of friends who seek virtue and personal growth. Surround yourself with a group that enriches your mind and spirit, whether it's a book club, a philosophical discussion group, or a friendship dedicated to personal growth. These interactions are opportunities to deepen your understanding, explore new ideas, and engage in constructive debate. True friendship, according to the ancient Stoics, is one that serves as a mirror reflecting the best qualities and helping to shape our own virtue. Epictetus, in his teachings, reminds us that friends are a support on the path of virtue. These friendships should be more than casual companionship. They should challenge you to be better and support your deepest pursuits. By pursuing these true friendships, you open yourself up to an environment that cultivates personal growth. You'll find a space where your ideas can be discussed, your flaws can be reflected, and your virtues can be encouraged. The quality of your relationships determines the depth of your development. As Plato said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So in this second half of the year, take the time to plant your own garden of meaningful friendships. Engage with those who challenge you to grow and inspire you to pursue virtue. This is the time to review your relationships and focus on the ones that bring value and wisdom to your life. Be intentional in your connections, and you'll see how these friendships can light the way to a fuller, more fulfilling life. 10th habit: let go of the useless and conquer the essential. As we move into the middle of 2024, it's time to reflect on one of the most profound lessons of Stoicism, the power of detachment. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who ruled over a vast empire, understood the importance of discernment and simplicity amidst the chaos of power. In his meditations, he noted that many of our efforts and worries are unnecessary, a truth that resonates deeply in our everyday lives. It reminds us that by focusing on the essentials and letting go of the superfluous, we can find a life of greater meaning and fulfillment. The first step to detachment is discernment. Ask yourself, what in my life is distracting me from what is truly important? Too often, we are consumed by a series of activities and commitments that ultimately don't contribute to our deepest goals or values. It's as if we're navigating through a sea of distractions with no clear destination. However, Stoic wisdom teaches us that by focusing on the essentials and eliminating the unnecessary, we can chart a more direct path to our goals. Detachment is a conscious and deliberate practice. It's not just about letting go of things or activities, but about re-evaluating our priorities and commitments. As Epictetus wisely pointed out, wealth does not consist in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This thought invites us to consider whether our desires and concerns are really necessary or if we are just following a flow of consumerism and distraction. Detachment, then, is a way to free ourselves from the bonds that bind us and to focus on what brings true satisfaction. In our everyday lives, this can manifest itself in a variety of ways. Maybe it's the excess time spent on social media, the endless and unproductive meetings, or the accumulation of possessions that deep down don't bring true happiness. Detachment requires a clear vision and firm action. It is necessary to say no to what is unnecessary in order to make a more meaningful yes to what really matters. Practice the art of saying no with discernment. As Seneca wrote in his letters to Lucilius, one should not say yes to everything that is offered to him. On the contrary, a wise man should carefully select his opportunities. This selection process is a way to more carefully choose the activities and commitments that really contribute to your personal growth and passions. It's a commitment to excellence and clarity of purpose. To begin this journey of letting go, notice how you spend your time and energy. Are you dedicating most of your day to activities that truly fuel your spirit and bring you closer to your goals? If not, what are the distractions and compromises that you can eliminate or reduce? This is the time to reconnect with your true aspirations and to remove the layers of clutter that cloud your vision. The practice of detachment does not mean becoming distant or detached from the world. Rather, it is an invitation to reconnect with what is deeper and more meaningful. The Stoic philosopher Horace emphasized, simplicity is the ultimate degree of sophistication. This concept encourages us to pursue a simpler, more meaningful life, focusing our energies on what truly enriches our existence. The second step is commitment to the essentials. Letting go of the unnecessary is only the first step. The real challenge is to direct that energy to what really counts. This is the time to focus on what brings genuine happiness and personal development, whether that's a meaningful project, a deep relationship, or a long-dormant passion. By saying no to what is useless, you are saying yes to what is essential. The act of letting go is therefore an act of self-assertion and setting priorities. It is a step toward a life of greater purpose and fulfillment. As Epictetus also taught us, what is not useful is harmful. What's useful is valuable. By applying this idea, you begin to shape a life that is not only productive, but also deeply satisfying.